going to start this show off by giving Chip Kelly some credit. At least a smidgen of credit. Just a tiny smidgen. You see, he likes his teams to tire people out. Well, he did a stellar job yesterday because my dad was snoring by halftime. 5 touchdowns from Jameis Winston. 235 yards from Doug Martin. And a 45-17 stink at the Linc to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, we are furious today. We are furious birds. Mike Owens, Jeremy Burton, they're both here. I'm Adrian Fetke. Let's get right into it. This isn't a show we're looking forward to.
No, well, today is the day that we live up to our name. We are the Bitter Birds today, and, well, unfortunately, probably for the rest of the season, there's not much to say about yesterday. It was just a complete embarrassment from the whole team, from the whole coaching staff. They should really be ashamed of the way that they went out there and played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And you have to give the Buccaneers credit because they came in here with a good game plan, and they just absolutely dominated the Eagles in every aspect of the game. So this was just horrible, and it's tough to do this show because we thought that this was going to be a totally different show, and it's not because the Eagles, they just gave up.
I don't see any. This is the worst game I've seen in years. I don't see any life from our team or our coach, our players. I think Chip's losing his players a little bit. I just don't see. There's no identity with this team. This was supposed to be an easy part of our schedule, and we got smacked around by a rookie quarterback. We had no game plan whatsoever. We didn't exploit any matchups. We just gave up, threw in the towel. It was sick. I mean, I checked out after halftime. I mean, once the Bucs got the ball and then held the ball for like 10 minutes to start the third quarter. That was pathetic. We made the Buccaneers, who had the worst record in football last year, look like the New England Patriots. And it's just so disappointing to see our defense, who's actually been playing well for most of the year, just get completely and utterly smoked. And it's just there's not much more you can say. It's just I just think Chip is. I've been saying this for weeks. I think he's outmatched, and I'm just sick of his shit and how he can't even game plan to win a game. He doesn't. I don't see any life out of Chip. And I don't even think he wants to win. Go back to college.
Oh boy, one of the main reasons why I had a glimmer of hope last week and optimistic moving forward was the defense, and then that's the performance they showed yesterday. Oh man, so now all of a sudden you not only do you have all these questions on offense, now you got to start asking questions on defense. What happened to our run defense? The last 4 games just abysmal. You go 15 straight games without allowing a 100-yard rusher, and now you've allowed 3 in the last 4. You go from being tied for second in the NFL in yards per carry allowed at 3.5, and that was heading into the Carolina game. Now all of a sudden they're 25th, which is just wow, considering what this run defense, the front 7, what it appeared to be, and you got problems in your secondary again because. Jameis Winston, I mean, granted, he was pinpoint. He played really, really well. He was solid. But, I mean, Billy Davis, you don't blitz Jameis at all. I don't know why you went away from the safeties being in the slot. You got E.J. Biggers out there. Can't even cover an undrafted white guy. I don't even know who his name is. And I know, like, everybody. I couldn't even tell you who the hell was burning EJ yesterday. Awful. Just no run defense, no pass defense now. I don't know. What do you guys have to say about our team?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely with you on this. I think that if there was, any glimmer of hope a few weeks ago, it was because of the way our defense was playing. And the way our defense played in the beginning of the season was really with with passion. They were going out there. They were making plays. They were getting interceptions. Not only like 1 or 2 interceptions a game. Their goal every week was to go out and get 3 interceptions or 3 turnovers a game, and that's what they were doing to start off the season. But the last few weeks, it's been a just total shift, and a lot of this falls on Billy Davis because I feel like teams caught up. They studied Billy Davis's game film from this year, and they caught up to him, and they switched their approach on him. And well, Billy Davis obviously is not coaching at all, because how you can go into this game, play off coverage against a rookie quarterback, that's the worst possible thing you could do when you brought in cornerbacks like a guy like Byron Maxwell to play press coverage. And the other thing about the run defense, beginning of the year, the run defense was outstanding. Last few games, they were starting to give up more chunks of yardage. 5 yards, okay, maybe you can deal with that a little bit. But this was just a game where it culminated into these long, like 60, 70-yard runs, and can't have that.
No, I mean it really is an alarming stat. What Adrian said, we went from like 2nd to 25th against the run. It's a joke. And yeah, you give up some chunks of yards, like Mike said, 6, 7, 8 yards. But a couple clips yesterday, he took off for 84 and 58. He had like 150 yards by halftime, Doug Martin. It's like just no fill in the gaps. Just let him completely take over. And another thing, Jameis Winston, it's a rookie quarterback. You got to pressure these kids. Get pressure on him. He was one of the bottom 5 out of starting quarterbacks in the league against the blitz. And I don't think Billy Davis called not more than a single blitz the whole game. It just boggles my mind that you go into you prepare a whole week to play this team with a chance to be in first place in our division if we win this game, and you show up like this, you lose by like 30 points to the fucking Buccaneers. Like, it's just beyond frustrating the way our team the past couple weeks has just continued to crumble. In past 3 games, we've given up 10 passing touchdowns to only 1 interception. We're not causing turnovers. Mark Sanchez is our starting quarterback, so obviously we had plenty of turnovers. 3 picks to be exact. I knew it was going to be I didn't have a good feeling about the game. First carry of the game, DeMarco has the fumble, and then they fumbled it, and I think they should have actually had it in the red zone, but we got lucky there. So it was just from Jump Street, man, just awful game, and I honestly don't know what to expect the rest of the year. I don't have any confidence at all in any of the games the rest of the year, maybe against the Redskins because they beat us once already. It'll be kind of hard for them to beat us twice, but I have no confidence in this team. You just got to kind of sit back and see what happens, and I mean, the sick thing is we're only a game out of the division, which is absolutely just sick.
It sucks because it's still like bringing you in, but like you kind of know the way they've been looking. It's more than a game, but it's oh boy. So getting back to this run defense, because I got more stats. They've allowed 5.5 yards per carry in their last 4 games, 180 yards per game. I mean, the 283 rushing yards that they allowed to Tampa Bay, the 6th most in team history, most since November 18th, 1973 against Dallas. Doug Martin should have had the single-game record, but he lost some yardage late. Emmitt Smith and Jim Brown hold the record at 237. So what are you guys seeing from the run D? What's going on? What's the problem?
Well, it's really just not preparing for the game and a lot of missed tackles, missed assignments. That's what's happening. I mean, these guys. Doug Martin. He would get in, past the first line. He would get into the secondary and it just seemed like nobody even wanted to do anything. They just wanted to watch him run down the sideline and run for a touchdown. We did not feel like tackling him at all. So I just, yeah, it's really just poor play. That's what it is.
Fundamentals, man. Fundamentals and like just simple tackling. I don't know. I lost track of how many tackles we missed. Linebackers played absolutely atrocious. You know, you're not going to have a good run defense if your linebackers aren't playing well. Kiko Alonso, he was engaged in blocks the whole time. I didn't see him get off like a single block. He had one tackle the entire game, the same amount of tackles as Jason Peters did after a turnover. Like, it's sick. There's not much to explain. It's just with the run defense, you just got to make tackles and fill the gaps and win. I always say this: win the battle in the trenches. And we made their two rookie guards, offensive guards, look like Pro Bowlers, and their offensive line, which was, you know, not great. Their offensive line wasn't great, but it looked like a Pro Bowl offensive line yesterday. Our defense just didn't really have any fire. It's like once Doug Martin got to like the second level, it's like nobody even really tried to like put a huge effort to go get them. It's like it's just sick. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, there's been no gap responsibility. Linebackers aren't getting off their blocks, and the tackling is, you know, a big thing here. How many times yesterday did you see Michael Kendricks get in the backfield, miss a tackle, and then all of a sudden Martin's going off for like 7-8 yards? I mean, it's great that Kendricks was getting in the backfield and his instincts were, you know, pretty good, and overall I thought he was okay, but I mean, earlier on in the year, these are 2-yard losses, and now all of a sudden we can't tackle. It's mind-boggling to me. It's wow. So now getting back to you know, Davis, and oh boy, I never liked the hiring to begin with, and you know he's been going under the radar this year because, you know, we haven't really talked about him because the defense has been playing well. So it's almost like we were giving him a pass. But I'll ask you guys. I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on Davis? Should he be gone at the end of the year? Now, I know Jeremy wants the whole fucking team gone, but we'll start with Mike.
Yeah, to me, the one guy that you fire is Billy Davis. That's who I'm getting rid of because coming into this season, when I looked at the way that the Eagles kind of rebuilt the defense and especially the secondary in the offseason, I said, okay, now Billy Davis doesn't have any excuses because he's got a lot of talent now on that defense. So let's see what he can do with it. And the first few games, he did a pretty nice job, but recently and especially, you know, against the Bucs here, just a horrible job by Billy Davis. How you don't have your defense ready to play a rookie quarterback in such a pivotal game like this. Yeah, just absolutely horrible. So, yeah, if you ask me, Billy Davis should be gone from this team and far away from it because I think what Chip Kelly really needs, he needs a defensive coordinator like Jim Johnson to come in here and just take care of the defense and get that squared away. And the other thing about Billy Davis is just going back to the game plan, talking about how he should have blitzed Winston more. I mean, they had one nice blitz where they, brought Thurman in on a blitz and he got the Winston. And it's like you got to do stuff like that and you got to continue to do it over and over and put pressure on that guy. But no. So, yeah, Billy Davis is out if you ask me.
Well, yeah, I obviously agree. I mean, Billy Davis never had a great resume coming in. It was a questionable hire. And, yeah, it's really showing these past couple weeks, even with the talent on our D. But, you need the talent and a good game plan, and you got to need that combination. And Billy Davis just hasn't had that. And I think without a doubt, I mean, someone's got to be the scapegoat. So, I think Jeffrey Lurie is a pansy, and he's not going to fire Chip Kelly after just 3 years and after 1 year giving him full control. But I think, honestly, that he gave Chip Kelly full control too early. And this is to a guy, like I can see, when he gave full control to Andy Reid, okay, a few years in, he had NFL experience. You're giving full control of personnel to a guy, Chip Kelly, who has no NFL experience, and I think it's clearly showing in his evaluation of talent. He thought that he could just plug anybody in and his scheme will take over, but no, you need real NFL talent, and we're lacking that on the offensive side of the ball. Mr. Offensive Mind, the Eagles have averaged, and there was 5 games this year where we scored 20 points or less. Come on. It's just, I know Jeffrey Lurie isn't going to fire Chip Kelly this year. Those chances are very, very, very slim. But I just feel in my gut that we're going to be put through another mediocre year next year, and it's just going to delay the inevitable. And, it's just going to put our franchise back another year. We're going to have to sit through this crap. Because I just think Chip is, his true colors are finally starting to come out this year. And since Thanksgiving game last year, that big win against Dallas, we have a 5-9 record, haven't won any big games. Maybe that's more along the line of Chip's record in the NFL, not the 20-12 the first 2 years. Maybe it's more along the lines of a 6-10 kind of record for a full season.
Man, you've been chomping at the bit to just gorge at Chip Kelly. Oh man, see, I was gonna get to him a little bit. Now, I let me just say this about Billy really quickly. All right, so here's my thing with him is his in-game adjustments. When it goes bad, he never fixes it. Julio Jones, week 1. What was killing us? That deep cross, and we just never really took it away. Last year, Dez Bryant, 3 touchdowns. He did the same goddamn thing. Left Bradley Fletcher on an island, no safety help over the top. You're still playing that cover 1 robber bullshit that he likes to play, and it's just that it's the same shit from Billy week after week after week after week, and yeah. So you have all this talent on the defensive side of the ball, and I always felt like although we were a good defense, the first half of the season, I felt like he was still holding them back, and now I'm just like, I'm just completely done with it. So now we will move on to Chip Kelly since Jeremy has wanted to switch to the topic so bad. So we will get to Chip right now, and the truth is, 99.9% chance he's coming back next year, unless something crazy, crazy, crazy happens. I'll just all right. I'll pose the question first, and then we'll do a little round table. So, thoughts on Chip Kelly? Obviously, Jeremy, he went. We'll let him talk after Mike. So, Mike, let's get your thoughts on Chip. What are you seeing?
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm very disappointed, just like everyone else here is with the Eagles right now. My thoughts on the situation are this. It's a shitty situation that we're in with the team right now, but I just feel like they got to give him at least another year to bounce back. So he's got to look at what went wrong this year, and you got to say, all right, look, buddy, this was a really bad year. Now you got to fix it. And so you give him a shot next year, and you see if he can, fix his mistakes. So that's how I look at it, because if you get rid of him after this season, then what? Then you're back to square one. Then you got to rebuild this whole program again, and now you're looking at another few years. And how I view this whole situation, to me, if Chip Kelly would ever leave the NFL and go back to college without ever having his prototypical quarterback here in the NFL, I think that would be a travesty, because I think that's really what Chip Kelly needs to succeed in the NFL. He needs to get his quarterback. And I think you can really see that with the way that it's turned out here with guys, like Sanchez, guys like Vic and guys like Foles. So even Bradford hasn't worked out the greatest. So I think that he needs his quarterback. So it's a shame because it's a really bad situation in that sense because there's not really that type of quarterback coming out in this year's draft. And the guy that would have been perfect was Mariota, but it was just going to be too much to get him. They tried everything, but it wasn't going to work. So
We picked the wrong year to suck. That's the
yeah,
problem.
exactly. So that's how I kind of feel about the situation.
Oh, if he wants his quarterback, let's trade Chip to Tennessee. Give us a haul for Chip Kelly. John Gruden got traded from the Raiders to the Bucks in 2002, and what happened? He beat the Raiders in the Super Bowl after he beat the Eagles. So coaches can be traded in the NFL, you know? But no, chances of that are so slim. I just don't have any confidence that Chip can change because he's so stubborn and he thinks his shit don't stink and his scheme is perfect and he can just do whatever he wants and it's his way or the highway. So I don't know. Obviously, yes, I would love for him to change and turn this team around next year. Obviously, but I just have no confidence in that happening. I don't have any confidence in his talent evaluation or Ed Manowitz, who is also a college guy, evaluator in Alabama. He just brings all these. I don't think he can coach men who make millions and millions of dollars. Ultimately, I think he's better at coaching boys in college. That's just I just have a feeling he's not going to have a successful NFL career. I think other defenses are catching on to him, and that's just how I feel. And I don't have any confidence in Chip, and I hate his press conferences, and I just want to smack him in the face when I listen to his press conferences. I don't know why I put myself through them, but I listen to all of them. I don't know why, but I do, and it's just beyond frustrating. I'm a very bitter bird today.
Well, the press conferences are great when they're winning, but then when they lose, he's just a little crybaby. All right, here are my thoughts on Chip, and I'm going to voice my concerns because I am an optimist most of the time. So I will voice some concerns that I have of Chip. Now, this is the first time he's really tasted failure. I mean, sure, he started 3-5 and such in his first year he turned it around, but this is the first time he's getting called out. He's getting called out bad right now by the media, by the fans, everybody. So and he's never felt this before. So I'm curious to see how he's going to handle this situation in the coming weeks, in the off season, all that stuff. And here's one thing that I haven't heard yet people say. So I'm gonna voice this. As we saw this off season, anybody who spoke ill of his scheme or of his tactics, he got rid of them. Evan Mathis got rid of him. Got rid of Brandon Boykin. Got rid of Brandon Boykin wasn't really saying anything, but got rid of LaShawn McCoy. He's got rid of Deshaun Jackson. So obviously, if you go 6-10 this year, there's going to be whispers in the room. There's going to be people that are going to speak out. So what's he going to do? Is he going to learn from his lesson and maybe try to deal with it in-house, or is he going to keep just getting rid of these guys? Because if he starts getting rid of people again, like he did this offseason, then I'm going to start getting real pissed off, and that's not what I want. So I mean, if Malcolm Jenkins say he starts questioning the offense, does that mean he's going to cut him? Like, you know what I mean? Because some of these guys are outspoken. Lane Johnson is not afraid to kind of voice his displeasure sometimes. So is he going to cut Lane Johnson? Like, that's what I'm concerned about heading into the offseason.
No, I definitely agree with you. That would definitely be a big concern of mine too. And like you said, this is really a pivotal time here for Chip Kelly. Because you're saying this is the first time in his tenure with the Eagles that he really has everyone against him. We knew that coming into this season, the way that he revamped the whole roster really, this was either it was gonna work out well or it was gonna fail pretty bad. And right now, it's feeling pretty bad. I mean, it's not working out. This is a time in the season where you're supposed to be getting better and improving for a playoff run. Instead, the Eagles have done the opposite, especially. I mean, offense has been stalled all year, been very inconsistent, but especially the defensive side of the ball, they've gotten consistently worse, which is not good. And, it falls on the defensive coordinator, but it also falls on the head coach because he controls the whole team. So he's got to, do something about that. So there's a lot of concerns right now, but for me, really going forward over the next few weeks is really going to be key for Chip Kelly because I think that he needs to kind of reestablish himself and try to get himself back into the good graces with some of these fans because a lot of people are turning on him. So I think this is going to be a big moment for me too and how I feel about Chip Kelly because I want to see how he reacts to all this. I think that he is actually a really smart guy, and I think that he can maybe get these guys going again. So, hopefully over the next few weeks, he can accumulate some wins here, and if they can end the season at 7-9 or 8-8, I think that would, we can maybe feel a little bit better about ourselves heading into next season.
Well, I appreciate you guys' optimism. That's good. At least 2/3 of us are optimistic. But I'm looking at the next 4 weeks. Okay. Detroit has won 2 straight games. They're playing a little better. Pretty solid defense. They held, Green Bay to low points. The Raiders were hot. They held them to low points. I don't see us just going ballistic in any, on the Lions, and they tend to play well on Thanksgiving. And then follow up that game with 3 very winning NFL coaches: Bill Belichick in New England, then Rex Ryan, and then Bruce Arians. Do you see many wins in these next 4 games after the way we've been playing the last 2 weeks and the way Chip has been coaching and game planning? Because I don't. So I tend to be the more pessimist at this point, and I'll be, yes, I would love to see a couple wins, but I don't see it. We'll see. We gotta sit down and see what happens. We'll hopefully, I'm wrong, but I have been wrong before, so we'll see.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try to make predictions because this goddamn team is so unpredictable. Like, who the hell knows what's going to happen? Who the hell knows? Now, all right, since I am a little positive Polly here, it's hard to be though. I mean, Jesus Christ, these last 2 weeks, I mean, they just ripped my goddamn heart out. But before these last 2 weeks, they did win 4 of 6. The offense did start looking better. You will be getting Sam Bradford back, which is an improvement over Mark Sanchez. That is something we the Bitterbirds did say. I mean, you guys wanted Mark Sanchez in there, and this is what you got. And it's funny because like now all of a sudden, we don't want Sam Bradford, we don't want Mark Sanchez, we want Thad Lewis now. So that's how Philly's reacting, which is just completely absurd. But I'm really not going to try to spin this in a super positive spin. But I will give you guys some examples of some teams that have turned it around before. We saw it last year with Carolina. I mean, we spanked them on Monday Night Football, and then after that they went and won 4 in a row, and they won the division. So who the hell knows what's going to happen now. I really don't want to try and predict what this team is going to do until I see them play Thursday. I'm curious to see how they're going to come out. Are they going to come out with no fire and no passion, no heart like they did yesterday, or are they going to show some promise? Are they going to show some fire? Who knows? I really don't know what to expect. Now, I don't think they're going to beat Arizona. I don't think they have a shot at beating them. I don't think they have a shot at beating New England. So if you want to win 4 of 6, those are 2 losses already. So that means you pretty much got to win all the rest of the games. It's going to be tough to do, obviously. So who knows what's going to happen? I don't have any predictions, but let's just see how it plays out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's safe to say that we can be predictionless the rest of the way because this team is impossible to predict. you don't know what the hell is going to happen each week. So, but like you're saying, I think that Thursday is a really really big game for the Eagles. It they have to come out and they have to play with fire, and you would hope that they would after getting their asses handed to them by the Bucs at home. You would hope that this team would come out and play with passion and fire on Thursday on Thanksgiving in front of the whole nation. So let's hope that they do. But like you said, anything is possible. For me, really, what I'm most disappointed about with this team is the defense. The last 2 weeks, the defense has really let me down because I really felt like we had a shot this whole time because the defense was playing outstanding ball the first few weeks. But the way the defense has laid down is really why we're struggling right now because they were carrying us and now they're not, and now we're just floundering.
Yeah, I mean, Billy Davis and Corey Unlin have a pretty tough test this week. I mean, you got a huge receiver and Calvin Johnson to cover. Golden Tate can catch any ball thrown at him. A couple. They don't really have. If we give up over 100 yards rushing to the Lions, I give up because their running backs stink. If Joik Bell gashes us for 100 yards, then we are in trouble. Let me tell you. So yeah, huge game on Thursday, 12:30, early start. We'll just hope that we Chip can throw together a game plan, unlike he has in the past couple of weeks. But maybe he'll pick more than 6 of the same plays to use. Maybe he'll throw some more in there and not call the same plays. But coming out with fire is huge. I mean, we haven't seen that the past couple of weeks. We look like kind of dead fish the past couple of weeks. There was an anonymous Eagles player that called out DeMarco Murray on that. It was last week's game, though, but on like a 3rd and 1, DeMarco was running towards the sideline, and he was just around the first down marker, and he just, slid and avoided he fell down to avoid a tackle from a corner who was substantially smaller than him. And it was just – and the anonymous player kind of called him out and said, well, what do you think? Does that show any fire? So – when you start getting tips like that inside your locker room, people hiding their name and calling out their own teammate, it's just bad news. And I just don't see this going well for the Eagles the rest of the year with all this already brewing and these 2 supposedly should have been easy games in the last 2 weeks, just getting one bad loss after another and then a worse loss. With all this going on, I just, my confidence is low in our birds, man.
Yeah, it obviously it doesn't look good at all. I mean, it's hard to put you can't put a positive spin on it. You just can't. I mean, I am a guy that I don't try to get too low when we lose, and I don't try to get too high when we win. After the Dallas game, I didn't want to say too much, but then the last 2 games. I don't want to say that we're totally done, but even though it's kind of looking that way, I mean, it's tough to gauge. But yeah, man, I mean, Thursday we got to show up, and I'm curious to see how we're going to come out. Now I want to know who the hell said that to DeMarco Murray because he was actually one of the guys that I thought was actually showing some fire yesterday. He and Darren Sproles were the only 2 guys I thought. I mean, who the hell said that? Was it Julian Vandervelde because he's been cut 11 times? Who said that?
I don't know, man.
Caleb Sturgis?
Yes, Caleb Sturgis definitely said it because it's just pissed off because he's sucked all season. Hey, I guess if we want to look at it positive, we didn't have to see him yesterday.
Well, he did kick 1 field goal. Maybe it was Josh Huff, the Hufflepuff.
Sturgis did have a field goal. It was okay. what was it, the fourth quarter, we're down 24 points, and you opt for a field goal, okay? That's technically 24 points. That's three touchdowns with 3 2-point conversions. Obviously, that's a stretch to do, but that Chip was just waving the white flag. He's like, hey, Caleb, here, work out your leg a little bit, make sure you're loose.
We need you on the kickoff. No, actually, the one that pissed me off even more was not going for it on fourth and 10, or was it? They were like across midfield. I don't know if it was like late third quarter.
Well, yeah, I mean
I didn't like that.
I mean, I think that the way Sanchez was playing, I think Chip just wanted to get him off the field. I mean, for me, to top it off, that pick six was just an absolute joke.
Oh my God.
I mean, people. I mean, I was at the Dolphins game when Sanchez came in and when Bradford got hurt, and I mean, half the stadium was applauding for Sanchez when he came in the game, which is an embarrassment to our fan base, considering that people actually wanted Sanchez as our quarterback. I mean, you saw it yesterday. I mean, Sanchez, he's not good. He is bad. All he does is he throws interceptions at the worst time possible. And a great example is right before the half.
Yes.
We're driving, and there's actually a shot that maybe if we get a field goal or we get a touchdown, maybe that somehow switches some type of momentum in that game. But after he threw that, we had no shot.
And there was literally two. I think it was to Ertz or Selleck. There was literally two guys right in front of him, like not open at all. He's just like, "Oh, here you go. I don't want the ball anymore. Bucks can have it." And then there was what is it? Levante David, is that the linebacker's name? He's a stud. He predicted, he said that it was a very predictable play on the screen, the Sproles, and that was the pick six. And then Sanchez, for Sanchez to throw his third pick of the game and actually mouth off the Sproles a little bit, to have the balls to mouth off the Sproles, who's actually a great player in the NFL, and Sanchez stinks. For him to do that pissed me off. And there's just several throws that I think there was one to Aguilar. This was early on. He cut inside and Sanchez threw it outside. Of just miscommunication, things like that. Sanchez just has that noodle arm which can't even throw the ball more than 10 yards. Here's something. Jordan Matthews and Nelson Aguilar combined for 7 catches. All right, cool. That's great. For 24 total yards. Do the math. 3.2 yards a catch? Really? Come on. Chip Kelly, Mr. Offensive Genius, spread the ball around, throw it deep. But he sticks to his game plan, and it also comes down to talent. I think we don't have anyone to stretch the field. That's why we don't throw it deep. Even Huff, he did make that nice play, but that was on a shorter route, and he made some nice moves after the catch. And then of course I saw the game break of somebody actually stretching the field in the Redskins game. Oh, who was that? Deshaun Jackson with a 50-plus yard bomb touchdown. It's I kind of missed the guy for a heartbeat for a second. But it's just Sanchez, noodle arm, pathetic. Bradford will definitely be an upgrade, obviously.
And if you actually go back to late in the first half, that interception we were talking about, if you watch the replay, Nelson Aguilar was wide open. So, and he threw it. Who knows what the hell he was thinking? So and it's funny because he almost we almost forget how bad he was yesterday because of how bad the defense was. So he almost no one really talked about him, and that was the funniest part about everything because when you're on Eagles Twitter, I'm on Twitter the whole time during the game, and just these fans, it's comical with some of these fans. I mean, now they're calling for Thad Lewis. It's just like what the hell do you expect from Thad Lewis to come in there? Like, come on.
They must have been smoking something good, man.
Salvia, maybe.
Salvia. Dude, you know, I saw a report like that. They were saying Thad Lewis had such a good week at practice. I laughed a little bit.
Yeah, well, it's, I mean, it's kind of sad because, I mean, I would almost have more confidence in Thad Lewis being in there than Sanchez at this point. I mean, you really can't get worse than the way Sanchez played. I think the guy is atrocious. I mean, the interception against the Dolphins, it's stuck in my mind. It could have really turned the season around, and he throws it right to the defense. I really don't know what he sees sometimes, but yeah, I mean, geez, they would be better with Swoop at quarterback.
Oh my God!
Name Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
Uncle Rico, yeah, bring him out there.
Sign him up.
Oh, guess who had a catch yesterday? 2 of them.
Riley Cooper.
Riley Cooper showed up. I don't think Miles Austin had a catch though.
No, Miles Austin let one go right through his hands, as is tradition.
I don't know why he is still on this team. I guess because he's guaranteed $2.3 million, and Chip will just look stupid if he cut him. And God forbid if Chip makes himself look stupid because he's so smart and stuck up. So,
yeah, man. Going. Here's what. So we were talking about Chip earlier, and I'll go back to talking about getting his quarterback and getting that. You don't want a running quarterback. You want a guy who he runs and keeps his eyes downfield and throws the ball. So it really sucks because this draft is terrible in terms of quarterbacks. So all right, so who do you get? A lot of guys are throwing around the name Paxton Lynch. I've been watching Paxton Lynch all season long. He's okay, but I was curious to see how Paxton Lynch would do against a legit defense, and he went up against Temple on Saturday, and he didn't look too hot. So
Go
now,
Owls.
so Paxton Lynch fan, I'm just like I'm not really seeing that one either. So man, it's unfortunate. I said this earlier in the show. It's unfortunate we suck. We picked the wrong year to suck. Because, I mean, say we picked in the top 10 last year. We could have got Mariota, maybe. So, and now it's like, all right, so you're going to suck for who? Jared Goff? Freaking Paxton Lynch? I don't think any of these guys are franchise-changing quarterbacks or anything. Maybe, I liked Trayvon Boykin. Unfortunately, with him, it's like I'm hearing that he might move to wide receiver. And I don't know, like, what do you do? So Chip may not even ever get his quarterback.
That's the part that sucks. I mean, and if he doesn't get his quarterback, then we could really be screwed. So, yeah, that's why the quarterback situation, it's not a good one and not good at all. We'll see what happens, but yeah, it's the draft coming up. It's not promising for quarterbacks. And you were talking about Paxton Lynch, and I totally agree with you. I thought, okay, he's getting a lot of hype. Let's see how he does against Temple. And yeah, he swung and missed. That was just a bad performance by him. So, I mean, he's a really tall guy, pretty big for a quarterback. So it was. He was really what you want. Definitely having a tall quarterback definitely helps, and a guy that's mobile. So, yeah, his stock didn't look too good against Temple there.
Oh, maybe Chip will get Colin Kaepernick.
Oh no! Oh, dude, if we get Colin Kaepernick, I'm gonna be on Jeremy's side. Chip out of Philadelphia. I do not want Colin Kaepernick on my team. God. I'm not even getting started on him.
Yeah, I know you don't like him. But yeah, Paxton Lynch. Well, that was a great performance by Temple. I'll be at the game this weekend. Kind of close out the regular season. Go Owls.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We should have started the show talking about Temple.
I know.
You know,
They're the only team that can win.
you know,
They're the only team that won. They're the only team that has won out of Philadelphia. Yeah, the only win by a Philadelphia sports team at home this month is Temple.
Mm-hmm. Temple, baby. Oh, dude, that was awesome though. See, get that win. You know
that was huge. Against Memphis. Oh man, they were top. Were they 8? They were top. They were top 20, 21.
They're 22, I think, in the college football playoff poll.
So there you go. Now Temple's back up to 25.
Yeah. The college football playoff poll comes out tomorrow, but they're back in the top 25 in the, I guess, the AP poll or whatever. So yeah, they're back in it. You know, see, that was a team, Temple. They lost 2 of 3. They started to look like shit a little bit, and they bounced back in a big way. So it's like, I want to see this shit with the Eagles. I want to see a bounce back game on Thursday because, you know, right when I was just like, oh man, you know, because we lost to South Florida, and South Florida, all of a sudden they're a game behind us in the division, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, now we got to play Memphis. Oh, we're not even going to get to the title game, and then they go out and they just destroyed the Tigers. So. You know, maybe there's hope yet. Maybe Temple's the one leading the way. They're like, yo, Chip, look, we can do it. You can do it too.
He needs some. Chip needs some advice from Matt Rule, man. Matt Rule, he's done an unbelievable job this year. I'm very, very impressed with the way Matt Rule has coached the Owls. You know, it's been really exciting. It's been literally a breath of fresh air in Philadelphia sports. So far this fall season, let's say, because I mean, well, we know the Sixers, and then the and the Flyers have been, their offense looks as bad as Chip Kelly's offense. Flyers can't score any goals.
Yeah, so like, yeah, Temple, man, they've at least made this Eagles season somewhat tolerable, at least for me. Now, you know, if you're a Penn State fan, well, fuck you.
That's bold. Hackenberg. Maybe Chip should get Hackenberg.
No.
I don't like him at all.
I don't even think that kid is draftable. I think he's terrible. He's awful.
Yeah, he's overrated. He was so overhyped.
Yeah.
At the start of the year. In Temple, week 1, sacked him 10 times. You started calling him Sackenberg.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep the NFL thing going because we are a Eagle show. I know we love Temple and all that stuff. I mean, awesome stuff. They still have a shot at, you know, New Year's Six Bowl if they can win the conference. But you know, Eagles. I guess. Well, we are like 45 minutes into the show now. Do we want to make predictions for the Lions game? I guess we will. So even though I think this team is completely unpredictable. Let's do it. Let's make some picks.
All right, I'll make a prediction. My prediction is that I'll be eating turkey on Thanksgiving. I honestly don't have a prediction. This team is impossible to predict. So I have no clue. I'm lost.
Man. Should I pick them to win? I don't know.
And now you're gonna pick them to win?
I'm so torn. No. I honestly, I think it's gonna be another heartbreaker, dude. I don't know. But I can't pick the Lions, so I just can't. My heart won't let me.
A tie.
Maybe a tie. I'll go, I don't know, 20-17 24-23 Eagles.
Hey, maybe getting away from the city is the best thing that they could get out of this right now. Who knows? I mean, I'll tell you what. Just from reading the reports of today in the locker room and how they're still somber and there's just no fire and it's not looking promising to me. If this game was on a Sunday, I'd feel better about it. But the fact that they have to go play Thursday, all this quick turnaround after you get your ass kicked, I think we're gonna lose. I don't. Maybe it's some reverse psychology happening right now. Maybe if I pick them to lose, they'll actually win because whenever I pick them to win, we lose. So I'm gonna say that we lose 27-13. I have no faith in this game.
Yeah.
So there you go, Jeremy. There's
Wow.
my positive Polly spin on that.
Yeah, I don't have any faith. I just can't say the words. I'm picking the Lions to beat the Eagles.
Well, I just did.
Well, you just did, and you're the most optimistic one. So figure that one. Try and figure that one out.
I think it's just the quick turnaround, man. I don't think we're. I want to see some fight though, but I'm just like. I didn't like what I saw yesterday. I didn't like what I heard today off the reports and I mean we're playing a game in 3 days. Like we're really gonna go win that game on 12:30 start. Detroit's won the last 2. They beat Green Bay.
Yeah.
We really win.
So now you think that we're in 2 weeks we'll be 4-8.
Yes.
Pretty much. That's what you're saying.
You know what? We're gonna beat them.
Beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'll be a positive Polly here. All right. So New England, it's well, they're gonna be coming down from. Okay, I can't. We're gonna get our ass kicked. Yeah. So I do think we're gonna beat Buffalo. I think that's one game we are gonna win. I think we're gonna with McCoy coming back. I think we could win that game. I think we could win the Redskins game. Maybe you beat the Giants. Who knows? But if this game was Sunday, this game Thursday, I think we'd have a shot. But I don't like the quick turnaround after what I just saw yesterday.
Yeah, well, I think that really the rest of the way here, it's going to come down to the defense. If the defense continues to play like they've been playing the last 2 games, then yeah, it's not looking good at all. But if the defense can go back, continue to play like they did in the beginning of the year, and they start getting 3 turnovers a game, then I think that they're going to keep us in games, and we're possibly that's when you would start to pull out games against the Lions. That's when you can win against games like that against bad teams when your defense can play well and keep you in a game. But yeah, the offense isn't going to get it done. We've seen that all season. So, yeah, it's going to come down to the defense and really Billy Davis, if he can come up with a good game plan. Because if he decides that he's going to, play off of Calvin Johnson and let Calvin Johnson do whatever the hell he wants, then, geez, he could have 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, easily. I mean, and Matthew Stafford is, he can be very, very inconsistent,
Well, let's just hope he throws 6 picks.
Yeah, he's had games where he's thrown 4 or 5 touchdowns, but he's also had games where he throws 4 or 5 picks. So, Stafford's inconsistent, but kind of like the Eagles are this year. So, I really, I picked a pretty even, game by, decided by 1 point. Maybe we pull it out. But I'm not confident in my pick at all.
Yeah, I usually go by my gut, and my gut's not feeling it. My gut is just sick. It's torn. It's twisted. It's awful. My intestines are in my throat. It's just bad. So yeah. So all right. I forgot to talk about this. We'll just quickly go through the subject. Then we'll end the show. Eric Rowe is still not seeing the field because he was the guy that was getting a lot of tweets yesterday when I was on Twitter. Should Rowe be in the game? if he could play the slot, I'd love for him to be in for Biggers. But the problem is he's being groomed to play outside, and you want a rookie in the slot. The slot corner is not an easy position to play. So forget about EJ Biggers not playing the slot, because that's just going to happen. All right, so if you want, maybe if Carroll struggles again, maybe you can see him outside, but he's not taking over for Biggers, so that's not happening.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said there. So, yeah, Rose has to play on the outside, so they couldn't put him in the slot. But yeah, my biggest issue was how much playing time Biggers got in the slot. That was just baffling. And it's not like Biggers was playing well. Biggers played horribly the whole entire game, and this is an issue. It almost goes back to the thing with Bradley Fletcher, how they let Bradley Fletcher play almost the entire season last year, and he got burned every time. And they went a whole game with Biggers getting burned, and they didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, well, that goes on Billy Davis. We've been talking him down the whole show. It's just, I know Rowe. I think he had a couple snaps in the dime package. Like, that's it. So you'd like to see our second round pick get more, make more of an impact. So Chip's first 2 picks this year on this past draft, Aguilar's been hurt. The jury's still out on him, and Eric Rowe hasn't really seen the field much. His best pick was obviously Jordan Hicks in the 3rd round. Yeah, it's just comes down to calling the right game plan, and hopefully Rowe can. I don't see him all of a sudden in one of the last 6 games just coming out and making a huge impact. So you just gotta hope he has this rookie year to get under his belt, and he can have a good offseason, and we'll get LaCory Shepard back too, and hopefully these young corners can make an impact next year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how Rowe's going to start over Carroll or anything like that. I think he's going to be your starting cornerback next year, and you're basically not going to see him this year. I just don't see it. I know, because that's like all I saw on Twitter for a while. Eric Rowe, where's Eric Rowe? Why isn't he playing? All this stuff, and it's not easy for rookie corners. So I mean, yeah, granted, it's almost 3/4 into the season now, but he's not going to play the slot. He really hasn't seen a lot of time this year, so it's going to be Nolan Carroll, and there's no guarantee that if you thrust him in there that he's all of a sudden going to be better than Carroll. So but yeah, Carroll has been disappointing lately. I will say that.
Yeah, they've definitely been picking on Carroll the last few weeks, and yeah, well, I mean, Carroll really hasn't played that well the last few weeks, so you can see why teams are going after him. But yeah, Carroll was playing well early on in the season, but he's kind of gotten worse here the last few weeks, so yeah, it's not good. But yeah, I agree. Rowe, you probably see him a lot more next year, but not this season.
No one on our defense has really played well the past couple weeks, except I was about to say, except Mr. Cox. He's an all-pro defensive end, and he's the man.
Yeah, I mean, even Benny Logan has taken a step back. Like, he was killing it first 2 months, and he made like 1 play yesterday. That was it. I didn't really see him do much of anything. So it's. And the line, I mean, Kiko Alonso had 1 tackle yesterday. 1. So, fans are giving up on him too. It's hard because he has the knee and all that stuff. So I'm curious to see how he does next year. But this year, I'm not expecting anything from Kiko for the rest of the year. So you're stuck. I mean, Jesus Christ, not looking good. All right. Final thoughts time, because we're almost an hour into the show. I didn't want to make this show that long, but we just had the vent and all that stuff. So, yeah, final thoughts time. Shoot.
Man, final thoughts. Well, if there was one word that I could use to describe, this team this season, I would say undisciplined. I can't tell you how many times they just do stupid things, and it cost them tremendously. Jumping offsides on defense, offsides on offense, offensive holding calls, drop passes, just things that you can't do if you want to win a football game. And the Eagles are not just doing a few of these things a game, they're doing them multiple times a game. And it's killed them all season long. And it's going to continue to kill them because it seems like they just can't fix these issues. And it's a major problem.
Well, Chip Kelly's in the spotlight. Let's see how his talent evaluation went in this offseason. Who did he bring in? All right. Injured players. Kiko got re-injured. Sam Bradford injured. DeMarco Murray missed a game. Ryan Matthews missed a game. He brought all these guys in. They're his guys. It's not working. The season's been not good. We're 4-6. We have a tough schedule next few weeks. It's not looking good. Go Owls.
T for Temple U. Oh, yeah. All right. I guess my final thought will be this, because the offseason's going to come around, and I just hope that Colin Kaepernick does not come to Philadelphia. And I hope Chip doesn't panic, and he brings this bum in, because this guy cannot read a defense. His accuracy is maybe worse than Mark Sanchez's. I don't want Kaepernick anywhere near this team. So that's my final thought. There are some guys that really, really want him, but do you really want a guy that just lost his starting job to Blaine Gabbert? Really? Mr. Sunshine himself? No way. No way. So I don't want Colin Kaepernick. That's my final thought. And it's scary because there are no quarterbacks in this draft. And if they do bring him in, I'm gonna hop on Jeremy's bandwagon. I want Chip Kelly out of town. That's all I'll say. So yeah, with that being said, Mike Owens, Jeremy Burton, I'm Adrian Fedke. Enjoy Thanksgiving, everybody. I love stuffing, and I'm gonna eat a lot of it. Later, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, all.
Go Birds.